Our next talk is by Mohan Gupta from Psychology, Testing Your Learning Potential.
The American education system has a problem. It assumes that students are unique and individual learners. It's true that we're all individuals, and all of our brains are unique, like our fingerprints. But despite this uniqueness, we all benefit from the same learning techniques. Now, I want you to answer this question. What are the best ways to learn? Take a few seconds and think about it. What answers came to mind? Now, I want you to compare your answers with mine. Number 1, spacing out your learning. Number 2, interleaving types of problems you do. And number 3, my personal favorite, testing. Actually, I just tested you. You generated an answer to my question, and I gave you correct answer feedback. This way of learning is so much more effective than simply rereading the material. In fact, it's up to 100% more effective for learning. And this effect is called the testing effect. On the left, you can see in the light blue bar are items that were restudied. And the medium blue bar are items that were tested. The gap between those two bars, that's the testing effect. This third bar in dark blue, that's a prediction from a model my lab created called the dual memory model. And it's the only computational model that exists to explain the testing effect. And it's based on some simple premises shown in the box on the right. When you first encounter a bit of information, you create a study memory. And when you go to restudy that same information, you strengthen that study memory. When you test yourself, not only do you strengthen that study memory, you create a new test memory. And because we have two memories of the same bit of information, this makes it more likely for us to retrieve it, which produces the testing effect. With this model as a comparison for effect sizes, I was able to accurately ask the question, is testing equitable? Or in other words, when two students walk into a classroom with differing levels of prior knowledge, will testing benefit them equally? To test this question, I manipulated participants' initial study memory strength, and then saw if testing had differing effects on their learning. And as you can see in this bar graph, the model is able to accurately predict the testing effect regardless of their prior knowledge. This is evidence that testing is a resoundingly efficacious learning tool. This research is fundamental to understanding everybody's learning potential. And we now know there are no such things as learning styles like visual and tactile learners. They're simply just learners like you and me. There's the saying that you don't know if you don't try. And this is true for memory. If you don't try and retrieve it, you won't know it. Thank you.
All right, well done, Mohan. That was fantastic. So from your presentation, we just learned a lot about learning, but how about we learn a little bit more about you? So let's start with something most people don't know about you.
Oh, yeah. Well, looking at my head, you wouldn't know I'm actually missing part of my brain. So I have my 3D printed brain when I used to do sexier research with neuroimaging. I'm actually missing this anterior portion of my superior temporal gyrus, which is a fun fact about me.
Wow, that is a fun fact. That's a unique one for sure. So can you tell us something about, tell us about someone who's had an impact on your life?
Oh yeah, I'll give one that's not related to research at all. And goes back to my high school days. I was really infatuated with the writer Jack Kerouac, who is the head of the Beat movement and before the hippies. And he was really inspired my passion for traveling and just kind of being on the road quite often. And so I definitely try and take the opportunity when I can to travel during my breaks.
Very nice. And I wonder if that's related to something on your bucket list. Does it involve travel or something else?
No, that's more about me being an adrenaline junkie. Is I want to base jump one day. I went skydiving during the pandemic, and I really want to base jump in a squirrel suit. It'd be a lot of fun.
In a squirrel suit. All right, I would pay to see that. That sounds awesome. And finally, what is your favorite way to recharge?
My favorite way to recharge is a hobby I picked up when I came to UCSD. Is actually just making music with friends. I really got into audio engineering and producing, and so it's a lot of fun just to hang out with some friends and make some music we enjoy listening to.
So are you mostly on the producing end, or do you also play an instrument, or are you a vocalist?
I can very poorly play the piano, and after a lot of processing, I can be a vocalist, but I'm a very poor singer for sure.
That's great. Well, you're a very interesting person. Thanks for being with us, and congratulations on making it to the finals of Grad Slam.
Thank you, Emily.
You're welcome.